Hello, everybody. Welcome to Optimism Fractal. We're here for our 45th event. So pleased for you to join us. I have the pleasure to be here with amazing builders. I hope that you enjoy today's event and today's episode. If anyone wants to say hello, as always, feel free. I'm going to give a quick presentation about Optimism Fractal and the events for today, the Respect game, and the Town Hall, which will follow afterwards. So I suppose I'll jump into it and hope you enjoy.
Roll that beautiful OP fractal footage.
All right. And speaking of beautiful OP fractal footage, here is the Sunnyflower. Welcome to Optimism Fractal, everybody. Optimism Fractal is a community dedicated to fostering collaboration, awarding public goods creators, and optimizing governance on the Superchain. You can check out optimismfractal.com to learn all about it. We host weekly events that provide a perfect place to network, make friends, and collaborate with builders on the Superchain, very talented builders on the Superchain. Everybody's welcome to join on Thursdays at 7 UTC. And at each event, we play an amazing on-chain social game called the Respect game, where we go into breakout rooms of 6 people. Each person shares what they've done to help Optimism, introduces themselves, collaborates to rank each other's contributions, and then based on the rankings, they each earn mystical soulbound token called Respect, which has many great powers. We produce videos of each event. Everybody's welcome to join the videos to promote your work, raise awareness for the public goods you're creating and the things you're doing on the Superchain. And everybody can watch them for educational purposes and some entertainment as well. And we're building tools too. We're building open source tools, several developers in the community building apps for playing the Respect game and making decisions with Respect and so forth. You can find more at all the links here. As you've probably seen if you listened to these before, it's a great place to develop your on-chain career and business. We have a Notion site where you can build in public with us together with lots of projects and tasks. And there's lots of funding opportunities going on the Superchain too. So encourage you to build your career, your business, and so forth. Join us. And Retrofunding round 6 is going on right now. Round 7 is coming up soon. So we'll probably talk more about that today. Great opportunities to get funded by building on-chain and helping create a better internet. We have been trailblazing the future of governance here with a process called fractal democracy that Optimism Fractal is pioneering. We have an article about the history of how a bunch of leaders have been working on this process for the past years, and we have a details page with our core intents, specifications of our protocols, and more details that encourage you to check out. And everybody's welcome to also lead the community by joining the Optimism Fractal Sages Council if you've earned respect, and also help participate in discussions at the Superchain at the Optimism Town Hall, which takes place right after the Respect game at each event at 18 UTC on Thursdays. Everybody's welcome to join both of these. Optimism Fractal comes from Optimistics and Eden Fractal. You can learn more at optimistics.io and edenfractal.com. Optimistics with the founding team. And we are building the Superchain together, building the interconnected network of blockchain scaling Ethereum on the OP stack with OpenAI or WorldCoin, Base, Sonium from Sony, Zora, Mode, Redstone, the OP mainnet, much more. Actually, Uniswap just announced a Unichain today built on the Superchain. So really exciting stuff. People can learn more at optimism.io. And the best way to get involved with Optimism Fractal is to join our weekly events and play the Respect game with us on Thursdays at 17 UTC. You could do so at lou.mosh/optimistics, and feel free to invite all your friends too. It's a great way to get people involved with Optimism, great way to connect with people on Optimism, and we love to meet people and spread the process. It's fractal, so it can grow a lot. You can meet the Superchain heroes too. So like and retweet the tweets from Optimistic. Rosmari's been putting out some great art to illustrate what we're doing here. Everybody's welcome to join. So encourage you to like and quote tweet and share with friends, share with family, everybody. Also do so in the Optimism Fractal farcaster channel too, where you can watch the videos and get involved and so forth. Great decentralized network. Thank you to Abraham for inviting everybody to play. Check out optimistics.io to learn more. And yeah, we're all excited to play, having some great social media posts here. We're also posting it on the Optimism Fractal Season 4 post in the governance forum too, where you can scroll through a lot of our progress over the past season. You can check out all the videos at optimismfractal.com/videos, where there's also show notes too. And last week's episodes, we talked about, we played the Respect game, and then we had a deep dive into the Hats Protocol with Hats Protocol co-founder Dave Ehrlichman during the town hall. This was a really interesting episode. So recommend checking it out. Right now, town hall episodes are in the second half of it. And so really cool stuff that we all learned in this episode, and encourage people to watch and join to learn more, and to subscribe to the Eden Careers YouTube channel, where you can find all the videos from Optimism Fractal and several other community events going on based around these fractal governance processes. We're going to have the Optimism Town Hall, as I said, in about 50 minutes or so after the Respect game. And there's an OP topics topic that has been selected for this week. So everybody can put up topics on the snapshot space. So as always, we decide these topics by posting topics on the Optimism Town Hall snapshot space. And you can see the topic with the most votes is OP topics, which is basically a topic that lets people vote on topics and propose topics throughout the event. So if anybody has any topics in mind, then feel free to do so. There's a bunch of topics that are currently up there already, and I actually just thought of one right before the event that I'm about to propose shortly about 1 year anniversary and retrofunding brainstorming. So the 1 year anniversary of Optimism Fractal is coming up on the 20th, which is in 10 days from today, and we're going to be closing out our fourth season on the 31st. So I'm thinking that maybe we can do some sort of celebration and also help out the retrofunding process in some way. By the way, the retrofunding process for round 6 is ending, or the applications are closing in about 3 or 4 days. So there's lots we could discuss here, basically, and lots of ways that Optimism Fractal may be able to help with this. So I'm planning to propose this and vote for it as well. So I think we'll probably discuss this, but of course, feel free to propose or vote for other topics if you'd like as well. And we did discuss retrofunding at our event a few weeks ago too, where you can learn more about the retrofunding process by scrolling through and seeing what we're talking about. And then you can also check out the most recent recording from the joint house call that Michael hosted, where there's lots more details about how the retrofunding round 6 process will work. Speaking of which, there's a bit of community news I want to announce real quick too. I want to give a shout out to Vlad, who built and released the first version of the Respect Games app. We had an episode of Eden Fractal with him yesterday. We had previously done it about a month ago where he gave a preview of it, and now the app is more so ready. Like you can check it out, respect.games, and it's quite well done. The overview was great, and the video will be coming out soon, so I recommend people check it out. He has an article about it too, where you can learn more. So that's respect.games. Check out the video. Also, shout out to Abraham, who we tested the fractogram app that he's been building last week, and it worked out really well. So really great to see the new apps in development. And also wanted to mention and welcome Unichain to the Superchain too from Uniswap. So you can check out Optimism on Twitter to learn more, or X. And you can learn more about our tools at optimistics.io/tools. With that, we're going to go into the Respect game now. So we're going to go into breakout rooms, and everybody here I think knows how to go. But yeah, we're going to go into breakout rooms, and everybody will get 4 minutes to introduce themselves, share their recent contributions to optimism, and then we're going to work to reach consensus on who helped the most, second most, third most, and so forth. And then if we can reach consensus, then we'll all receive on-chain respect as a result. Feel free to ask other people questions in your room, and feel free to record your breakout room. I'll give everybody recording permissions. Feel free to share your screen and share any links to your work um, to help promote your work. And we'll try to wrap up the game within about 10 minutes or so before the town hall, if possible. So hope that everybody has an amazing time. Welcome, Jacob, and also special welcome to Samuel joining for the first time too. Hope that everybody has a awesome time in the breakout rooms, and I think I'll open them up now. And yep, they're open. So have fun, everybody. Enjoy.
Oh, here
Ah,
comes
Dan,
here comes
Dan
Dan.
is
Okay, there
Dan
we
is
go.
here.
Hey guys,
Perfect.
I'm supposed to be in the other breakout room, but I just realized, so I'm going to go to the other breakout room, but I forgot to give you guys recording permissions. So if you want to record, then I'm now giving you permissions to do so. And then we'd be happy to publish it on the channel if you'd like.
Hey Dan,
Yeah.
where's the when we plug in the addresses in order in that app, is that should we create an app on the Fractal app to submit, or just copy and paste text so that somebody else can do it?
The way that works is just open up the app, like the front end for it, and then copy and paste each person's address in whatever the scores were, X5 and so forth, and then copy and paste the URL, and the URL will automatically have everybody's addresses in there. So once you copy and paste that, once you've generated it, then you can share that link, and everybody will be able to use it from there.
To get to that page, it's not the Fractal app though, right? What is the URL for that page?
I believe it's optimismfractal.web.app. I will share a link with that in the Discord so you can find it there.
Optimismfractal.web.app.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I'm gonna go
Okay.
there now. Sure. Thanks, Dan.
Okay, you're welcome. Yeah, and if you guys are able to record and interested, then I appreciate it. And with that, hopefully you have a great Respect game, and I'll see you afterwards.
Oh, good.
Okay, I found it.
Looks like it's already recording.
Okay, great. See ya. It's recording for me, but I don't know if you guys started recording, so I'm gonna
I,
head
I
there
have
now.
I have put the URL into the chat.
Okay, thank you. See you guys. Have fun.
See ya. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hey,
Hey,
What
Dan.
are you doing here?
I'm good. I'm supposed to be here. Sorry, I was late. I I forgot to give them recording permissions. So I realized afterwards I sent them to the breakout rooms and they don't have recording permissions. So this is the way the
Okay.
randomization worked out. But I figured I'd just stop there real quick to give them recording permissions. And then Abraham asked me a question about the fractalogram app. So then I answered it briefly. But now I'm here. This is where I'm supposed to be. So sorry for the
Okay.
delay, and I hope that we are all good.
I hope so too. Would they know? They will know how to reach consensus, I assume, using the Abraham's tool,
Yeah,
right?
Abraham's there,
Yeah.
so I assume
Okay.
they're probably no better than us.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
And you're recording everything is, are you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah, I am. Yeah, Zoom
Okay.
got this new interface. I'm confused. It didn't have the dot, but yeah, it's recording. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we're
Nice.
good.
Because I'm recording too, but it's okay.
Okay.
Cool. Hey, Samuel, Eric, now you have, I guess, a good internet. I can see you clearly.
And I can see you clearly and I can hear clearly now.
Amazing. Glad you managed to fix the.
Eh?
And I'm glad you managed to fix the internet. And now
Yes,
it's
I
working.
had to like I had to like use another one. I had to connect another one altogether. I
Mm-hmm.
had to turn on to my Starlink.
Okay, I get it. Is it better to call you Samuel or Eric?
Eric. I like Eric.
Okay. Okay. Amazing, Eric. Nice to meet you. Dan, do you want to host?
Either way, you're doing a great job hosting. So if you want to go ahead and do it, Rosmari, then feel free. Also, it's nice to meet you, Eric, too. Thanks for joining. If you'd like to, if you have any questions about the process, then feel free to ask. But basically, we're going to each take turns and share what we're doing. And like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing what you've been up to. So if you have any questions along the way, then feel free to do so. Feel free to share.
Thank you very much. And I'm really happy. I'm excited to see you all here today. And I'm looking forward to like building and growing with you all. So I don't have any question right now. Maybe the only question I might have is how to navigate what you guys have been building. And of course, after today's meeting, I'll take my time to go through the whole thing over and over again to make sure then I have something I can look into. Then anything I'm lacking behind, maybe I can come back to you guys and talk to you guys about clarity for proper explanation and all that. Then when it comes to my end, I just came into Optimism not too long, about 5 months ago now. That is when I just came in. Yeah, I actually just came in, and what drive me was the whole idea of the super chain. I was stunned by the idea of the super chain when I was scaling through, and I really liked it. And not to mention that the main thing that actually brought me to Optimism was my friend Elisha. He's a devil in Biz Network. So in the process of coming into Biz, I had to like look into other chains that are linked to Biz. That was when I get to find out about Optimism. And in the process, I got to know about the super chain. And with the whole ideology of the super chain, with the whole thing that is coming together of the super chain, I picked a lot of interest in the super chain. I liked when people work together as a collective, when people come together to build different ideas just as a collective. I'm very much big on people coming together to build together and, to build as a collective together. So I really like that idea and I wanted to be a part of the team. And on my own part, I've actually been publishing articles. I've actually been doing things, educating people. I'm a good researcher actually, so I've actually been trying to educate people around me, my peers, my communities that I'm in. I've actually been trying to onboard them into the optimism space. And of course, just before the meeting, I had a call with someone. I already onboarded him down to Optimism, and he can't wait to like be fully involved. So that is basically what I'm trying to do, onboard more people into Optimism, because I find out that my people over here in Nigeria, they are solely too much into Base network. Yes, they like Base, and they forget that the main character too, one of the main characters here is Optimism that works with Base. So I am trying to like make them understand the whole concept of the Superchain, the whole concept of optimism, to bring people together to build. So that is it for now. And maybe along the line, moving forward, like I said, I'm more big on working with people's projects right now. I don't know, maybe in the future, I might have an idea to come up with something myself. But for now, I'm heavy on wanting to work with a project that's already building. I like the idea.
All right. Excellent. Well, thanks so much for the introduction and working to help onboard people to Optimism. And I'm looking forward to collaborating with you as well. So, yeah, really excited to learn more and see all the things we'll do together. But that was that was a very exciting introduction. So I saw Rosmari start the timer, so I guess we kind of started the respect game. And so if you wanted, Eric, then you still have another 2.5 minutes to share. And in particular, if you want to focus on anything that you've done to help Optimism over, say, the past week. I know you already shared some of that, but you had another couple minutes if you want to speak, or if you want, you can pass it on to me, Rosmari, or Howard whenever you're ready as well. But if you want to share any more, then feel free.
Yes. For example, me and Eric, we were messaging each other on Twitter for a bit, and he shared that I think now he's taking part in the cohort of organized by Optimism Eco.
Superchain Eco?
Superchain Eco, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And also that he's doing Twitter Spaces and so forth. So maybe you can tell us a bit more about that, Eric.
Yeah, I've been able to organize a few Twitter spaces for my people down here in Africa, Nigeria to be specific, and I've actually been trying to like the whole get started idea of Web3 and more specifically get started in Optimism. So I've actually been trying to bring them in, and overall, so far, I can tell you that yes, a lot of people are coming in and a lot of people are really excited about what is to come from the Superchain. And I think recently, that was 2 days ago, or 3 days ago, I was listed among the set of persons that will vote in the next Retrofunding. I was listed among the voters in the upcoming Retrofunding. So I'm looking forward to that as well. And I feel really excited to be a part of that team, to be a part of people. This is actually why I live. This is what I like doing, to be a part of a progressive congress, a progressive project, actually. And I would like to say, like, one thing about the Superchain that's really fascinating to me is the way and the idea of it stopping fragmentation. Like, you don't have to bridge, you don't have to I'm out of Base, I'm out of Zora, I need this. No, you don't need to. The whole idea of like killing off fragmentation is what really makes me to like the idea of the Superchain. You can just, where you are, whatsoever you have on you that's interconnected to the Superchain, a chain, anyone at all, you can just use it to act. And of course, I know that next year will be bigger. Maybe coming year, which is 2025, you might actually be seeing memes, DJs. You might actually be seeing meme coin trading on the Superchain, and can't lie, I'm looking forward to that as well too. I'm actually looking forward to that. And of course, I'm planning on hosting more spaces, more Twitter spaces, more community inbuilt events for the people. And of course, I think over here in Nigeria, the people will like an event, a kind of convention, a kind of gathering together where they can just be and share ideas about optimism. We talk about optimism, we talk about the general the super chain generally. And I can promise you that they will all turn up. They like something like that to learn, they like it.
All right. Super cool. Well, thanks so much, Eric, for all the work you've been doing on Optimism and all your enthusiasm. Really excited to see what you're doing. And if you like, you can pick somebody to go next when you're ready. If there's any quick last thoughts you want to add, then feel free. But otherwise, you can pick Howard, Rosmari, or me to go next, and then we'll share what we've been doing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. I will.
You're welcome. Do you want to pick one of us to go next?
Yes. Rosemary. Am I
Okay.
correct?
What?
Can you pronounce your name? Am I correct?
Rosemary is okay.
Rosemary. Oh,
Yes.
cool.
Thank you. And I'll do next. Also, feel free to share your screen when you present too. Those in the future.
Yeah.
And I'll share my screen. Dan, can you start the timer because my Zoom? Oh, now it was frozen for a second.
Sure.
Okay,
I'll
I
start
can,
it now.
Now I
see it.
can. I can. Okay,
Okay, cool.
great. So for the delay, well, I help with marketing, and this is our YouTube channel. It's
Mhm.
youtube.com/EdenCreators. This is where we post the recordings from these events. Both Optimism Fractal and Optimism Town Hall at the moment are within one video. And what I did this past week was I edited and published the video from last week that Dan just mentioned at the beginning of this presentation of this call, where Has Protocol's co-founder came and presented more about. He got asked the questions from the community that got voted on that voted on questions and was answering them and was doing a deep dive into Has Protocol. That was really interesting. I recommend for anyone to check out this episode. I worked on the show notes for it at optimismfractal.com/44, where you can see all the timestamps. They're super detailed here. I didn't do the timestamps, but I took out special pieces of feedback that we received during this episode. For example, from Ed, that is part of the Optimism, I think is the developer advisory board, for example. And also from David Arlichman, who is the co-founder of Has Protocol. So those two feedbacks were great. I added them there in the show notes. I also promoted this today's event, and these are some of the tasks and places I promoted it to. And then also, as you guys may be aware, Farcaster changed the way that they're kind of governing, or more so organizing their channels, where people that are only members can post right now. So I kind of looked into it and accepted to a bunch of channels here. You can find your channels at managed channels here, and also reached out to Statuette, nodebase.eth, to ask if I can get also sort of a membership to the base channel, because I got added to the base creators only, base builds only. I shared the message in a bunch of the channels that I'm now a member of, and I've managed to actually, I see that now they get more traction. And for example, we got like maybe 6 members that kind of liked the channel, the Optimism Fractal channel, even from yesterday. And I generally see more traction for those. I also shared this the promotion across various channels, as I mentioned, such as sending to the people who are listed as going in our Luma calendar for the Optimistics, and as well shared the message and invitations in our Discord at Optimism Fractal. I can share the link now in the chat too. I crafted this message and then shared it in the Optimism discourse, and also invited Eric to today's event too. Thank you, Eric, for reaching out to me too. Great talking to you. I've been planning mostly brainstorming with Dan about the promotional campaign that we're going to do for Retrofunding Round 6 and anniversary that's coming up on the 24th of October. And also, I promoted the Optimism Fractal 40-second video on these channels here. It's still in progress, but I promoted it at like various channels already. I attended Eden Fractal's event, which was yesterday, where Vlad presented the newly built tool for the Respect game, which is called the Respect Games app. I created this image, and it's kind of a thread that you can find out more about at Eden Creators _ on X. That's the channel where we post the Eden Fractal promotions too. And I also tweeted, and also I am kind of drafting this cast or kind of promotional message, because actually Optimism has been liking our post on X, and we also got results from the Eden Creators videos mission proposal that myself and Dan were talking about a bit, as well as discussing the Retrofunding 6 a bit with Dan. And the topic for today too, we kind of brainstormed on that a bit. I attended the Token House call, sorry to go a bit over time, and listened to 2 amazing podcasts too by Vikash. And I also reached out to them in their Telegram. And I've been kind of also looking to kind of get more equipment to start the podcasts that I used to host, that I've been hosting, called Community Stories too. And I got some equipment there. I can't stop the timer. Oh, okay. Sorry to go a lot over time. I'll try to be more punctual in the future.
Sounds good. Thank you, Rosmari.
Dan, would you like to go next?
Well, I haven't heard from Howard yet, and I spoke a
Okay.
lot, so I'm wondering maybe Howard. First, it was great to see you. I meant to say it before, but great to see you as always. And if you'd like to go first, Howard, then that would be cool to hear.
Sure. Yeah, no problem. I'll be pretty short. I just followed Rosmari and Optimism Fractals on Warpcast. So yeah, thank you for showing me that. I haven't logged on to Warpcast in a little while. So, but thanks for setting up all that and for doing all that work too. And what I've been doing is I was running into still some trouble using Third Web for Abe's Fractal app. So he's also not super thrilled with Third Web, so he's thinking about switching over to Privy. So I started looking into that, as well as diving into the documentation for the HATS protocol to make sure that it would work with Privy. So I'll probably just continue trying to look at that and then start trying to implement help him implement some of the Privy stuff onto the Fractal app, and that's about it. That's all I've got for this week. So,
what are the problems you're experiencing?
The Third Web documentation isn't the best, so some of it seems a little out of date. So I've been like, every time I fix one problem, another problem pops up, and so it was just getting that authentication part of the app working. So this way, because right now Abe just has a static database, and he wants to be able to just instead of using the static database, query Hats protocol. So I've been trying to get the query part working for Hats protocol, and it's just been, like I said, difficult to get it working with Third Web. So like I said, we're going to see if we can get it working with Privy, if it's any easier, and take it from there.
Very interesting. So is the goal here to take the fractogram front end that Abraham has built and one hook it up with Hats protocol, so you can assign the admin role and who can host the breakout room and stuff like that. And then also with Privy, the goal is to specifically enable like kind of like email sign up, as opposed to having to sign up with a MetaMask or some Web3 wallet. Make it so you can sign up with email or other methods. Is that the main reason why you're thinking about integrating Privy instead of Third Web?
Yeah, so Privy was Abe's thinking. He's been having difficulty getting Third Web to work without really any hitches as well, for the front end stuff. So he was the one who told me he's thinking about switching to Privy. I can't tell you exactly why he's looking to switch to Privy, but he did ask to see if I could integrate Hats protocol with Privy to maybe use it. But in terms of what I've been working on, yes, it's connecting basically the front end of the Fractalgram app to the Hats protocol. So this way, instead of us having to keep like a static database, we can just query them to see who's wearing what hats and who has authorization for what.
All right, excellent. Well, thank you for answering our questions, and thanks so much for helping to build an app. That's incredibly helpful and much appreciated. And I saw you messaged and had a bit of a chat with David Ehrlichman in the Hats protocol and Optimism Fractal chat. So I appreciate you trying to work through all those issues and getting that to work very much.
I'm doing what I can. Thanks.
Well, sounds good. You still had a bit of time left if you wanted to share anything else. I suppose one of the thing, so if there's anything else you want to share related to optimism at all, then feel free. And then also one thing I'm kind of curious about in general too, I could always ask later, but I'm curious if you have any ideas on like the timeline on how the development might go, when you might be able to get these things hooked up and stuff like that. But feel free to go in a different direction too, if there's anything else you want to say.
I mean, ideally, I would like to try to. So I'll probably spend this weekend digging mostly into documentation, because I have to look at Privy, see what it can do, look into that documentation, and then I also am gonna want to dig probably a lot more into the Hats protocol documentation. So this weekend will be a little bit more research, and then I'm hoping like next week I can, sort of set up like a small, make like a small test app to see if I can get it to work. And then if I can manage that, then that would be next week. And then if I'm able to manage that, then it would be adding it to the Fractalgram app and helping Abe maybe switch things over to Privy. So
Is everybody able to hear the music, by the way? I don't know when that started, but Zoom had some music. Okay.
Yeah, I did. I mean, that's why I paused.
Okay, yeah.
The music. But so that would be my best estimate for a timeline.
Okay, great. Well, thanks so much again for the work and the passing of the timeline too. And yeah, feel free to let me know if there's anything that I can help with too and help support. Yeah, really looking forward to seeing the app.
Thanks, Dan.
You're welcome, Howard. Okay, I suppose I'll go next, unless there's any last thing you wanted to add, but I'm ready to go. Okay.
Take it away, then.
I'll take it away. Also, Rosmari, do you want to are we going to use the front end that Abraham built for today instead of Fractalgram? I think we should, right? And if so, do you want to do that? I don't know if you're an admin in the app, and I don't remember what the link is Should we just use regular old Fractogram on Telegram, or should we use the new app?
I don't have the link.
Oh, actually, I do
don't
have
think.
the link. Actually,
I have
had it
the
from an
link
old one.
too.
Okay, so
Is it? Do I have to be an admin?
in order to do it, yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
technically with the work that Howard's doing, it'll make it so that you have the hat, so you're able to do it, but
You're
that's not
right.
built yet. But I think that Abraham, for the time being, just manually set me as an admin, and I think he manually set you as an admin too, but I'm not sure. And
I can
now,
check.
I have access to the whatchamacallit, the wallet addresses that he set as admins, so I can tell you. Just got to pull it up.
okay, yeah, I'm logged into the app right now. I just pulled it up, and I see. I don't know if he said he sent me as an admin, but then I had to like log in and create an account too. So I don't know if I created a separate account that's separate from the admin. So I don't see any button to like start up a game or something like that from my side. I guess I could just go ahead with my recording, and if we're not able to get the Fractogram app working right now, then we can just use the Fractogram and Telegram, and maybe Rosmari, you can get that set up so we have a backup plan. If you want to try, you can also try logging into the the app, which
Well,
is
I think
here. It's at respect-game.versal.app/play, I think. You don't
okay.
need a slash play.
Oh.
Okay, thank you. And Howard, if you're able to do that, that'd be appreciated, but no big deal either way, because we know the app's still in development and we can always use the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, no problem. I'm digging through my files to see if I can to try to find the wallet addresses that he said as admin.
Okay, sounds good. I'll get started, and like I said, no worries if you can't find it. It's not a big deal either way. So I'll get started, and we only have 15 minutes left, so I'll get started, and that way we'll have time to reach consensus and get back to the room. So I'm going to share what I did to help Optimism over the past week as Dancing Joy. So what I'm first going to speak about a little bit is website updates, and particularly also spreading out the website to many different formats. So I've been planning a lot to open source everything that, or a lot of stuff, or most of the stuff that I have written in the various websites that I've been developing and maintaining, particularly starting with the Optimistics website and blog to make it so that all the data is more like resilient, more decentralized, and so forth. I sent a message to Tadas about this, and I kind of broke down the reasons for doing this to make it more accessible, to make it more decentralized, to make it more composable and forkable, and allow other people to participate. And I did some research into different books that have been open sourced in this way. In addition to open sourcing this and figuring out this process, I've also been creating plans for releasing as a book, first as a PDF book called the Optimistics Guidebook is the draft name, Optimism Fractal, Respect Games, and the Future of Governance, and the Optimistics Podcast, which I'm generating with an AI tool, which is pretty interesting. So this is some of the work that I've been doing over the past week and figuring out how to make and this content more accessible. This is optimistics.io/blog, where for the past year I've been curating all these different articles about Optimism Fractal and the Respect game and the tools. There's also the tools page too, which is specifically about the tools. But yeah, basically I've been working. This is it's presented very nice, I think, and it's at a great point now. But just having in those different formats to make it easier to listen, to make it easier for people to work with it, to make it so people can print it out and stuff like that, I think that'd be helpful. So on that note, I started developing some work for the guidebook and like basically figuring out how that would work and figuring out the tools to make this kind of PDF guidebook. And then I've also been working on this kind of podcast too. I've also been collaborating with Rosmari on Brainstorming for the Community Stories podcast. And then also thinking about doing a Creator Talk podcast, which I did last year, and thinking of bringing that back for Optimism Fractal as well and doing like a kind of a keynote. But I can share more about that in a bit. And for now, there's like some kind of draft audio files I drafted about what is Optimism Fractal, what is Respect game, what is Respect, and what is Fractal democracy, with the idea to use this AI tool to help explain these things that are in the articles and make them accessible in this other way, in addition to the more personal podcasts. So I've been working on that. I'm constantly kind of just like refining the Optimistic's tools article. Like, for example, I did a bit on the Respect Games app, but I think I'm going to mention that now because I hosted a event yesterday for Eden Fractal where Vlad introduced the Respect Games app. So afterwards, I did some quick updates to this based on the new stuff he released with the introductory article released and video and stuff like that. But this kind of provides an overview of some of the things that he's building with this app. And then in that process, well, first off, I also collaborate with Rosmari to help promote the event. And I always provide some feedback on Rosemary's messages and her images and stuff, which are really nice. And then I gave a bunch of feedback to Vlad beforehand on the best ways to communicate the app and to basically explain how it works and stuff like that. So yeah, I kind of went back and forth and wrote like a good amount of details about the things that he could do to improve, and he said it was valuable. I also joined the joint house call too for that OP Michael hosts with the Token House and the Citizens House, and I spoke about Optimism Fractal's 1 year anniversary. Invited everybody to join. There's probably like 50 people on the call or so. Gave a brief overview and put together some slides about Optimism Fractal's progress over the 1 year, which I think I only had like 5 minutes. Whoops, I think I only had like 5 minutes. To present it there, but I made like a really detailed presentation. I'm thinking about releasing this as kind of like a keynote of some sort to kind of like give an overview. And for example, there's like kind of sections here where it shows some of the things that we've done for each of these different categories. Like I broke it down to history and context, community growth, governance, innovation, technical development, educational initiatives, and the anniversary. So each one of these have some context and stuff like that I'm going to try to communicate to the collective to get broader adoption and integration of Optimism Fractal, as well as just spread awareness for all the great tools that people are building and so forth. On that note, too, I've been thinking a lot, and I had a brainstorming session about the upcoming event. So, well, first off, I've been researching the retrofunding process. So I went through the whole process of retrofunding and seeing how it works basically to prepare. And I reached out to the Optimistics team to mention about making an application. And then I made well, I don't know why that came up here, but I had made a topic proposal, which is somewhere, which we could discuss that more shortly. If you go to the OP topic space, I made this topic proposal to discuss our 1 year anniversary and retrofunding brainstorming. Also working on various other things like reaching out to the Optimism marketing team and stuff like that. And then I also that's why I had it, because I updated some of the missions I've been working on for Eden Creators videos. As Rosemary mentioned, I had shared some comments in response to some of the grants counselors and stuff like that. And then a couple of people reached out. Daniel Ospina, he's an innovator in Dallas. He reached out and asked about it, about Optimism Fractal. So I responded to him. Messaged Polini on Warpcast recently about Optimism Fractal as well. Polini is a very popular thought leader. So did some stuff like that and shared some messages around. And that's it for me, folks. Da da da.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I feel like I should do a dance whenever that music comes on. Okay, and thank you, Eric, for the claps. Appreciate it. And yeah, if anybody has any questions for anybody that would help reach consensus, then feel free to ask. And I believe Rosemary will share a link if she hasn't already for a group that we can all join to reach consensus. Eric, the way it's going to work now is we're going to open up this link that she shared. I think it's going to be a Telegram app. We were debating whether it's going to be a Telegram app with a new version. And then we're going to rank each other's contributions. First, we're going to decide who did the most to help Optimism over the past week, and they'll get level 6. And then after that, we'll decide who did the second most and who did the third most and so forth. And then if we can come to consensus in the next 10 minutes, then we'll all receive respect. And the people who get the highest ranks get more respect, but everybody will get more respect. But everybody will get respect if we come to consensus. And I see the 3 of us are here. We're just missing Howard right now. So if you could join when you're ready, Howard, that'd be appreciated. And if everybody could please also have their Optimism accounts, EVM addresses ready, then you can enter it in when Rosemary puts the prompt out. And yeah, if anybody has any questions along the way for each other, then feel free.
All right, give me 1 second.
Okay.
Okay. I think I'm in.
I don't see you.
You don't see me? Oh, yeah, I'm not at the play. Are we using Telegram?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's why I was going to the app.
Yeah, unless you're able to admin it, then we could use that. But otherwise, I don't know how to
I was,
admin it.
I'm also an
I,
admin.
yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
actually can admin it if you. But I don't have my actual wallet.
But
Okay.
I think Eric, well, I sent a private message to Eric if he can register to the Respect game app, but I don't know if he did, so I also created a fractogram. I also
Please, can
created.
you send this up? Okay, let me register now. I've seen it. Let me do that.
Okay. Well, if you want, but we can also just for now use the Telegram too, because since everyone is here, and
Okay.
maybe use the app next time. If that sounds
Works
good
for me.
with everyone. Okay.
Okay. That's cool.
I just put the prompt.
And if ever you can please respond with your Optimism account as a reply to that message.
Yes, I've seen it.
Thank you. All right. Now, Rosmari will put out the prompt for who should be level 6. So we'll vote for whoever you think did the most to help Optimism this week and deserves the most respect. And which should we pick? Now comes the tough part. Okay. And it looks like we have 2 votes for Rosmari, 1 vote for me, and 1 vote for Howard. So if you'd like to switch your vote to yourself, Rosmari, then you can. You'd be level 6. Or if anybody wants to advocate either way, then anybody can do so.
I think Rosmari seems to be doing a lot of work. I think she deserves it.
I think Dan has been doing more than me.
Well,
He just kind of I think the way I presented my contributions was, I don't know, kind of more giving more detail in a way, but really I think he just kind of skipped over like a bunch of work, maybe in one tap, like for 5 seconds. For example, he didn't expand on the presentation he did for the token
Joint.
house, the joint house call, or the, I don't know, there was more there. That he didn't really provide. For example, the messages you sent in the Optimistics Telegram group too, those were quite long too.
Well, yeah, I did do a
And
lot
the
of work.
research.
I'm always doing a lot of work, and it's tough to convey it in 5 minutes or less. So I appreciate the recognition and acknowledgments, Rosemarie. I'm also happy I could potentially switch to Rosemarie. I voted for Howard because I don't know if Howard's got like a level 5 or a 6 yet, and Howard's been consistently building. And even though it hasn't come to fruition yet, I know that like I really appreciate his dedication to this, and I know he's a really talented builder, so that's super helpful. But also, Rosemary, I know you're constantly doing great work as well, and I know you kind of gave up your spot in a recent event, and you've been getting got like level 2 or 3 or something in the past couple weeks. So we only have 4 minutes to reach consensus. So I'd say we reach consensus, and maybe I'll just switch over to Rosemary so she can get level 6, and then we can move on to level 5.
Okay. I'll take that as a birthday gift because my
Okay.
birthday is tomorrow.
Sounds good. Happy
Happy early
birthday.
Thank
Birthday.
you. Thank you.
All right.
And I
And
haven't gotten that, to be honest, level 6 in a while. I
okay.
don't remember the last time.
Okay.
Maybe
Sounds
it
good. Well, it's not too long ago
Thank
now.
was-
And now we can rank for level 5. Who you think did the second most optimism recently? And we have 3 votes in right now. I don't know if we have 4. And we have 2 votes for Howard and 2 votes for me. So would you like to take it, Howard? If you want to switch yourself, I appreciate you voted for me. But if you want to switch to yourself, then I'd be very happy for you to get more respect. But I'm happy to go either way.
All right, Dan, I'll take it.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, much respect and appreciation. I've also been I've been getting lower numbers lately. I've been getting like 3 and stuff like that. So I'm gonna give myself. I think I'm gonna vote for myself in the future more. But I really want to
Yeah,
give Howard
man,
respect there.
you should, dude. You've been grinding.
Yeah, I've been grinding for the past few years now. Okay, and now we'll rank level 4. Who you think did the third most optimism this week?
You got it.
Okay, and I got it there. Thank you all. I appreciate it. I voted for Eric, but I'll also happily accept it. But I think what Eric was doing was really cool. So I really appreciate you joining and sharing the work that you've been doing on the Superchain with us, Eric. And I hope that you've enjoyed the Respect Game experience and you'll be inspired to join us again in future weeks. And keep bringing
invite
lots of
more
respect to what
people.
you're doing. Yeah, invite people too. Yeah. What was that? I heard you say something, but your screen is frozen right now.
I'll get you one.
Can you repeat that, please? Not sure if you could hear us there, but no big deal. I think you had a little internet issue. If everybody could please click here where it says here to submit this on chain, that will make it so it goes on chain so we can all get the on chain respect. And then, yeah, we should probably head back to the community room in the next minute. We'll have a bit of time for feedback. If anybody has to go at the top of the hour, that's cool. But if you're able to stick around and join us for the town hall, we can have some open discussions there. We'd be happy to hear any of your feedback, Eric, on the respect game when we get back to the main room as well. And hope you enjoyed it.
I left my wallet at home, so I'll have to submit it when I get home tonight.
Okay. Well, thanks for letting us know. And I appreciate it. And if needed, we can always make a proposal to distribute the respect. We've gotten pretty accustomed to that lately.
Yes, I submitted. I pushed it on chain.
Okay, sounds good. I am doing the same now. And I see it's the top of the hour now, so I think I'll close up the breakout rooms and see you back in the community room. And thanks so much, everybody, for the great respect game. See you back at the
Sounds
community
good.
room.
Thank you again.
Voilà, we are back into the main room. Nice.
Voila.
Samuel, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Patrick. Nice to meet you, Patrick.
Nice to meet you, Samuel. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah,
I can hear you.
very well, very well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Patrick. My pleasure.
Nice to meet you, Samuel.
All right, I think we've said this a couple times now. There wasn't an issue. Welcome back, everybody, to the community room. Hope that everybody had an awesome time in their breakout rooms playing the respect game. we're at the top of the hour, so we're going to head into the town hall shortly. If anybody needs to get going, then feel free to do so whenever. And if you want to share any quick parting words, then that's welcome as well. But we have an exciting topic for anybody who wants to stick around for the town hall. We're going to be discussing brainstorming about our 1 year anniversary coming up in 10 days and also about retrofunding and have some ideas about well, all sorts of good ideas that I'm excited to share with you. I see Jacob says need to head out. Thanks for another great week at Optimism Fractal as always. Have fun at Town Hall. Thanks, Jacob. Hope you have a great day, and thanks so much for joining us. Also want to give an opportunity for Samuel, for Eric, if you want to briefly share any feedback on the Respect game, on the process. Hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to share any thoughts before we get into the topic of the town hall. If not, we can also get into the town hall as well whenever we're ready.
Yeah, I actually did enjoy it. It was my first time and can't lie, it was really, really fun. And at the same time, it was educative as well and informative as well. So I'm looking forward to more respect game with you guys. I'm looking forward to growing this community, growing this project together with you guys. And I'm really, really impressed with what I've seen today. And of course, I'll put in the work and I can guarantee you that, yeah, I'll make sure that this project, what's going on here, whatever we're building on here, would actually skyrocket to the next level in a short span of time. Thank you very much. Thank you, Retro.
Is Samuel from the borderless community? Because that voice sounds familiar.
No, I'm not.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah.
Okay, well, cool. Oh, what was that you're saying, Eric?
No, I wanted to just say hello to him.
Okay, sounds good. Well, yeah, thanks so much for sharing the kind words and the feedback. I'm really glad you enjoyed it so much, and really looking forward to building the community with you and collaborating on Optimism and playing more Respect games with you. Also, Will mentioned Bordeaux's community, who Carla God, maybe you know her, but she's joined an Optimism Fractal event a couple weeks ago, and she mentioned she's been working with a lot of developers, I believe in Nigeria. I'm not totally sure, but
Yeah,
yeah,
it's in
maybe there's some.
Nigeria. Yeah.
Okay,
Borderless
cool.
dev. Basically, what they do is they take Web 2 developers and they teach them how to code for Web 3.
Okay. Very cool. Well, maybe we'll have some collaborations then. I'm sure a lot of people doing great development work here and doing great education work. So I'm sure we'll have opportunities to grow optimism together across the world and help train more developers. So with that, if anybody wants to share any last thoughts on the Respect game, then feel free. But I'm also ready to get into the topic for the town hall, so I can kick us off and give a quick presentation. Maybe I'll go like 5 minutes or so because I want to provide a little overview of retrofunding and some ideas, and then we can have an open discussion, open brainstorming discussion about our anniversary and about retrofunding. Okay, cool. And I think that we are ready to go. So I will start up my screen share and kick us off.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, let's do it. All right, welcome everybody to the Optimism Town Hall. I was hitting the wrong button. Okay, welcome everybody to the Optimism Town Hall. We host the town hall every Thursday at 17 UTC, or at 18 UTC rather. Everybody's welcome to join. It's a collaborative forum dedicated to conversations about the Superchain, and we play community agenda games where participants can choose a topic. So it provides a great place to learn about the latest developments in the Superchain, help lead the collective, and explore opportunities, especially with the Optimism Fractal community, because we just do this right after Optimism Fractal weekly events where everybody can play the Respect game and earn respect that currently people can vote on with the topic. So you can go to lou.mosh/optimism town hall or lou.mosh/optimistics to register for the event and invite friends. We love to meet new people, and so encourage you to invite people to join. Each event is organized and scheduled via a agendas game, short for community agendas. And the way that this works is, well, you can see optimistic.io for a little description about how it works up here. But basically, the rules are that whichever topic has the most votes at 17 UTC on Monday on the Optimism Town Hall snapshot space is the topic that will be discussed. From that, we also do some extra games off that, which I'll get into momentarily. But first off, in case anybody's not familiar, as I mentioned, these follow the Optimism Fractal weekly Respect game events. So you can learn more about this at optimismfractal.com. Optimism Fractal is a community dedicated to fostering collaboration, awarding public goods creators, and optimizing governance on the Superchain. And you can explore the site to learn more about the Respect game and how you can get involved each week at both the Optimism Fractal event at 70 EDC and the Optimism Town Hall event at 18 EDC. So everybody's welcome to join both of these. Currently, the videos from the Optimism Town Hall are published as part of the Optimism Fractal videos. At some point, they'll be totally separate, but right now you can find them in the second half of Optimism Fractal events. So last week, we had a HATS Protocol deep dive with David Ehrlichman, co-founder of HATS Protocol, and several other great initiatives. So there's show notes for each one of these. We recently discussed Retrofunding Round 6 and Optimism Missions in Season 6 and much more that you can scroll through, all sorts of cool stuff we've been doing. There's show notes for each one of these if you click into it. So for example, I believe the topic we're discussing today is about Retrofunding Round 6. So this episode here kind of provided an introduction to Retrofunding. Once again, if you go kind of like halfway through the episode, you can see a little presentation learning about Retrofunding Round 6 and how it works and stuff like that. And then you can explore the show notes to learn more, see timestamps and so forth. So you can also find these on the Eden Creators YouTube channel as well. We'll welcome everybody to like and subscribe and share with friends to help raise awareness. And for today's agenda, like I said, well, actually, I don't know if I said it, but we're going to be playing an OP Topics agenda game. So it's like a agendas game where we can kind of roast topics along the way. And there's a whole bunch of topics on the OP Topics snapshot space. So some of them are focused on Retrofunding 6, the Sunny Award, the Optimism Collective Identity, Optimism Collective Governance. Everybody can vote. You can find the Optimistics, share the link to the snapshot space over here, and everybody can vote on the topics. And I'll just give you a quick overview. So yeah, the one that received the most votes this week is OP Topics. And basically this community agenda game where I kind of explained it. There's more detail to it where there's a way that we can switch topics and stuff like that, but we can experiment if we want. If anybody wants to discuss a different topic, then feel free to vote for a different topic or write next topic in the chat. But basically, we'll probably just discuss the main topic on the agenda. That's what we've been doing today. And the topic that has the most votes, there's a whole bunch of topics you can explore here in the OP Topics space, but topic that has the most votes for today is 1-year anniversary and retrofunding brainstorming. So Optimism Fractal's 1-year anniversary is near, and applications for Retrofunding Round 6 are now open. So I've been thinking a lot about how to make the most of these occasions, and I'm curious to hear everybody's thoughts in the community. So for a bit of context, the first Optimism Fractal event took place on October 20th, 2023. Today is the 10th, so it's in 10 days, and the next two events will occur on the 17th of October and the 24th, and then the end of our season will be on October 31st, the end of Season 4. So I'm thinking that maybe we could start some festivities next week because it's only a few days away from the anniversary, and then maybe organize a special anniversary celebration for the 24th. And we've also been, for people who have been at these events for a while, I've been watching, we've been in touch with some people at the Optimism Foundation about like coordinating some collaborations with the Optimism Foundation and with Retrofunding and so forth. So I'm thinking, well, in last year, we did a Retro Pitches game during Retro PGF Round 3, where we hosted an event where public goods creators who were participants in Retrofunding were able to have some time on the stage in front of a bunch of other participants and basically share what they've been doing to help Optimism and make their case for why they deserve Retrofunding, and both help badge holders and citizens to make better decisions about who to fund, and then also give an opportunity for the public goods creators to promote their work. So we have a blog article at this, optimistics.io/retropitches, where you can see some of the things that we did. For example, in our third Retro Pitches, we had about 8 great projects that presented their work, and you can watch this video to see how it went. Basically, each person or each team got 5 minutes to share what they've been doing to help Optimism. And then we had kind of a fun ranking system game where people voted and we ranked a couple of different topics and stuff like that. So you can see it was a really cool event. And we had a couple other ones too, where we were working with some other teams and stuff like that. So that's an idea. That's something that we could potentially do. We have this brand and we haven't really revisited it since then. And it was very well received back last year. So I'm thinking maybe we can do something like that to organize for the 1 year anniversary as a way to celebrate both Optimism Fractal and our progress over the past year. We have a lot of new products, great developers and great products, great events and videos and stuff that we want to communicate more. So it could be an opportunity to also promote Optimism Fractal and all the great builders in Optimism Fractal as well. And potentially it could help to help the collective make better decisions too, because the collective is trying to figure out, okay, how do we fairly award or reward creators in retrofunding? So I have some ideas. Previously, Tadas came up with some ideas for enhancing retrofunding or retro PGF, and he came up with a design for a concept called respect trees, where people could vote with their respect on different projects and who helped optimism the most, stuff like that. So there's some links here. Like, for example, you can see the first Optimism Fractal event at optimismfractal.com/1. You could see back in the day when the Optimistics team founded it, and there's just kind of 4 of us here starting, and we've come a huge way. You can explore show notes from then. But first of all, I want to thank everybody for everything that's come over the past year. Like I said, you can check out that videos page where you could see all the past 44 videos over the past year. And yeah, so kind of want to have a brainstorming session, see what people think about it. Curious if others are planning to participate in retrofunding. As I mentioned previously, there's a call that was very informative that you can find on the Optimism Governance Forum. Michael hosted a discussion where Jonas, the organizer of retrofunding, talked about retrofunding. The applications for Round 6 close on October 14th, and this is focused on governance. There's also going to be another round for dev tooling coming up next month or in a couple months as well. So people building all kinds of tools can apply and get funding. And there's up to 3.5 million OP that will be distributed in this round, and a really interesting experiments going on with impact attestations and guest voters and stuff like that. So there's all sorts of stuff we can discuss, and a lot of it we already discussed last time. I did also speak on this call too. I announced the 1 year anniversary and put together a presentation with some slides that people can see, kind of recapping what we've been doing here at Optimism Fractal. So encourage people to check out this call, as well as if you want to go to the Optimism X account, then you can find out the tweet and the link where you can sign up, where you can see the eligibility criteria. There's some criteria for governance, infrastructure, and tooling, analytics, and leadership that people can apply with. And the applications close on October 14th. And retrofunding.optimism.io is where you can see the application process, how it works, where people can apply. I've been looking into this, and it's quite an interesting system. It's been developed quite a bit. And on the bottom is also a great link here where it shows kind of a general introduction. If you're not familiar with retroactive public goods funding, it's very core to the optimistic vision and what the Optimism Collective is doing, rewarding public goods creators who are helping create a more equitable internet with the Superchain. Basically, rather than trying to forecast what people will do, the Optimism Collective is looking at what people did to help optimism in the past and then rewarding based upon this. So it's been growing over the past few years and is one of the largest public goods funding mechanisms in the world. So recommend people check it out and get involved. And I think it's a big opportunity for us to show what we've been doing with Optimism Fractal, as well as help support the collective and all the great public goods creators. I suppose maybe one last thing I'll show is we have the concept of respect here that we earn at the respect game each week, Optimystic.io/respect. And yeah, we've tried out some different things to enhance Retro PGF. So I kind of just came up with this idea today. I was talking with Rosmari, having a brainstorming session, but Tadas wrote this article about how we can enhance Retro PGF earlier in last year. And it's a little bit outdated now, but he talked about how, various ways about how Optimism Fractal can help evaluate public goods creators in the collective and vote with respect to have a really decentralized and fractal mechanism for evaluating public goods creator, the contributions of public goods creators. So I think there's a lot of ways that the retrofunding process can improve, and the people who are organizing it are looking for ways to improve it. And so one idea that I had recently, just today, is we could use this idea of respect trees, which is a concept that we talked about in a video back at Optimism Fractal 2016. Tadas had written this article and came up with this idea of respect trees where you can allocate votes according to different projects. And so, yeah, there's a video where you can learn more about it and a little overview here at optimistics.io/respect trees, fractal framework to facilitate collective decision-making, set priorities, and allocate resources in decentralized communities. And yeah, here a draft design here about how you could potentially vote on different projects that participate in retrofunding. So I had an idea that maybe over the next few weeks, we can have some sort of system where at the town hall, like we still play the respect game, I think, but then at the town hall, we can maybe provide an opportunity for people to share, for people who are creating public goods and have applied to the retrofunding round for governance to come and do like a retro pitches game where they share their work. Perhaps the respect holders at Optimism Fractal can vote on projects, help the collective benefit by better understanding the contributions and the impact that has been created by public goods creators who are helping with governance on optimism. And then maybe that can form some collaborations where we're also like providing the badge holders with some things that make it easier for them to vote while also providing a way for people to promote their work. So those are some ideas I had. These are still kind of early ideas. I'm curious to hear what everybody thinks about these, as well as if you have other ideas about retrofunding and the 1 year anniversary. But yeah, I see some potential here to kind of celebrate our 1 year anniversary because we have all these great like tools and things that people have built and a bunch of great contributors here. So we can maybe celebrate what Optimism Fractal has done so far, while also helping the collective improve their retrofunding process, because the collective is really trying. They have several articles about like path to meta governance, where they're trying to find the best tools and best methods to improve retrofunding. And we have a lot we can offer. So maybe we can both celebrate the 1 year anniversary of Optimism Fractal while at the same time using our tools, using our respect to help promote public goods creators and help the collective allocate funds fairly compared to impact. That being said, those are just some ideas I kind of wanted to share and put it out there. Curious if anybody has any thoughts or feedback about this. Also curious if anybody has any thoughts in general about other ideas for the 1 year anniversary or other ideas for retro funding. So basically, floor is open. So that's it. I spoke for kind of a while there, but appreciate you all listening and curious to hear your thoughts. I see Patrick raise his hand. Patrick?
Yeah, thank you, Dan, for the nice coverage overview of Retro PGF. That's very powerful as system. Nothing about that. That's just amazing that we can apply there and for Web3 solution that we are creating. We covered some weeks ago in another Optimism Fractal when there was Jean on the call. Then I watched also your call with Rosmari about Retro PGF, also some remarks. And I was totally aligned with the things to, let's say, to improve, because the things that are working well, we have not even to spend time on what is working well, but what has to be improved, maybe to better let them know the Retro PGF what we are doing as impactful to improve the governance. Because the respect game by Abraham, the respect game by Vlad, the tools of Jacob, what is doing Will also, everyone here, what we are doing indeed, is just the fractal bottom-up approach, not top-down, but from the bottom to the top, iterative. And if we can better explain them what we are doing, so communication, better explain, and also better organize also when we apply to Retro PGF, because we can apply as an individual, but we can also apply as a group, as a software stack. And when we are at a point with so much tools now into Optimism Fractal that are working well, we have ORDAO, we have OREC, the protocols, we have the ATS protocol, that is also a protocol, and then we have the apps on top of the protocols, and then we have the data collected on top, we have Kingfisher's media, etc. So, and you have yourself, Dan, the best dog in the galaxy, without no doubt. So that makes sense to apply as a group at a point. Not saying that no one has the right to apply as an individual, but that would be very great if we can apply as a group, as a software stack, and we are more impactful for this fractal and other fractals. That's my feedback. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Patrick, for the feedback and sharing the perspective. Very interesting thoughts, and I have some ideas I can respond there, but I see Abraham has hands up, so we'll pass it to Abraham. If anybody else wants to share their thoughts too, feel free to raise your hand. Abraham?
Yeah, just going along with what you were saying, Dan, as far as getting like a party together, trying to recognize which projects are impactful and all that. I did notice in the OP call that they have they're starting to use metrics garden. And there, if you press the get started button up there, I think you can anyone can create a project on there. So we could potentially just like have a party and everybody goes in and kind of votes for projects that they know or something like that too. That could be kind of a fun thing. I just posted the link in the chat.
Interesting. Thank you
I
for
don't know if there's
posting
any
that.
like downsides to that, or it'd be better to kind of do our own list of projects. But it seems like there's some in there already, and why not? Those who are part of this group, we could easily add projects, and then we could all kind of help each other to communicate impact.
Yeah, great. That's an actionable things to improve the visibility. Yeah.
Another thing is that our project is not here even under governance, so no one can really even say that they like it or not. Like people can't endorse it in a way because it's not even in the list of projects in the metrics garden. I don't know how to get there. Maybe I have to reach out to Lau, but that's another thing.
Yeah, I believe I was going to respond to that briefly. I believe that Launamu, who's the creator of the Metrics Garden, she put out a post recently on the gov.optims.io where I think she said that there's a place where you can submit a project. So we could do that. Although one thing to consider, like Patrick had mentioned before about applying as a group, and we've thought ever since the beginning of Optimism Fractal, the way to like make it so that Optimism Fractal participants can get rewarded. And we've been, constantly trying to figure out how to do that basically. The design of fractals initially was that everybody can get rewarded by joining the events, and you can earn some funding in addition to the soulbound respect tokens. You can also earn some funding, and so far we haven't done that at Optimism Fractal. I do have a mission proposal that I've worked on a lot to create this kind of fund distribution system, and I'm working on communicating the benefits of this to the collective as a whole, and making a lot of progress, but it's still not quite there yet, and it'll take some more time to do. And then there's a question of how to apply with it being in mind that that's not like set up. Like right now, like we don't have like some sort of MSIG or something like that like Optimism Fractal community would accept the funds or hold the funds like that. And then even if we did, then that could potentially come with like liabilities and stuff like that we don't want to put on people for having to like hold an MSIG. So in the past round of retrofunding, or well, not the past, because the past 3 rounds haven't really, they've kind of excluded Optimism Fractal contributions by just their round design. They've been focused on different things like the OP stack and stuff like that, where we haven't directly contributed towards. In the round 3 of retrofunding, we apply as Optimistics, which is like a team building on Optimism Fractal. So we've been thinking about, okay, well, could Optimism Fractal apply on its own? Could individuals apply to retrofunding and say, hey, I helped Optimism Fractal with this? Could individuals create teams around Optimism Fractal, like Optimistics, and say, hey, we help with this with Optimism Fractal? And we still don't have a firm idea right now. I messaged, just to provide like some clarity, I messaged the 3 other members of the Optimistics team like yesterday or 2 days ago, and I've been looking at the proposal process and have been thinking about applying again with the Optimistics. But then Tadas messaged me and he's like, I don't know if I want to do that, because he's like trying to figure out the best way to do it and how to reward people fairly and stuff like that. So I'm kind of like internally trying to figure out how could we do this in a way that like we can be able to help people get rewarded by participating in Optimism Fractal, and work within the existing like system of retrofunding, because it's kind of like it's structured in a specific way, basically. And they do allow like groups to participate, but there's no like, Optimism Fractal can be like a big group potentially in the long term. And also we have like our respect distribution, stuff like that. And another major goal here is just to integrate Optimism Fractal's process of the respect game into retrofunding too. So that's another thing that we can also kind of discuss, how we can improve the process of retrofunding to be able to make it so, other people who found fractals or other people who participate in fractals can also earn funding. Because the way that retrofunding is right now, like you only can really apply maybe once every 3 months, once every year, or something like that. And it's like a lot of like, it's not like a consistent form of reward for people. It's not so reliable. So if retrofunding has, say, respect games baked in, or the on-chain governance protocols, like say OREC or DAO, or the respect games on-chain governance systems that some of the developers and Optimism Fractal community have been building, then we can make it like a much improved process. So that's another kind of corollary, is another kind of corollary here, like about how we can both figure out the best way to reward, people contributing to Optimism Fractal now, and then how we can improve the retrofunding process to help all people get rewarded better in the future, as well as in this round too. So there's just some other ideas.
Yeah, and the tweets, you do fantastic tweets yourself, Dan, Rosmari also, me, some tweets also, Jacob doing some tweets during the week about what he's doing. So I think when a member of this, let's say, a participant of this Optimism Fractal is seeing a tweet on X, reflex could be that he like and retweet. You don't have to make any comments on a tweet if you are not sure with the comment, but at least doing like a swarm and an organic swarm between us, because there is a project named Swarm. There are a lot of projects that are swarming the tweets, but it's not natural that some people that are paid to do so, and they have no clue about the projects. But here we have some clue about the project, so that would make very sense to reflex when you see a tweet, just retweet. That's the normal respect also. So that would be also great to have an at into the at tree that you can claim when you have made a certain amount of tweets also. That could be very incentivizing the community to participate, because we are in echo chamber. We are a little group currently. If we want to scale organically and let's say sure, not with the eyes bigger than the body, let's do simple things that cost nothing. It's just to press on your keyboard and like and retweet. That take 2 seconds to do so. So, and that's respectful for the Twitter, the guy that has tweet, or the woman that has a tweet. So I think that's normal respect. But again, Pat Nova Bat touch here. Speak the truth.
All right. Thank you, Pat Nobat. Good points. And yeah, interesting ideas all around. And the more that we can help, like maybe improve the feedback loop for the Optimism Collective to reward public goods creators, then the more we can make a more positive impact in the collective. And I think that's kind of element of what you're saying with tweets. Like if people could have more direct incentives to retweet helpful initiatives, as well as helping optimism in all kinds of different ways, then that can ultimately help optimism grow more, attract more people to optimism, where if they help a little bit, they could still get rewarded. If they help a lot, they get rewarded more, and so forth. So that's something I think that the respect game and a lot of tools we're building can help with, as well as I saw Abraham shared the metrics garden, which I've had a chance to research somewhat, but I still don't fully understand it. But I can pull that up if anyone wants to see it. And then I also had one other test too, where I figured we could do it in snapshot too. I tested that a little bit this morning, so I could show that. The town hall only has a half hour scheduled, and we're at just about that time. So if anybody does need to head out at the half hour, then feel free, and feel free to let us know and say goodbye if you want. We can always wrap it up now too if you want, but we could go a bit longer too, because we kind of got a bit late start as well. So yeah, let me know, I guess, if you want to if you feel like wrapping up, or maybe we'll go for an extra 5 minutes or 10 minutes, something like that. And maybe I'll pull up the metrics garden on the screen right now so we can see what Abraham and Rosmari were talking about. Does that sound good? Or anybody else have any other thoughts before I do that?
Good reflex.
Okay, cool. So
Yeah, that would be good to see the metrics garden.
okay, sounds good. I see Howard saying, gotta go. See you guys later. Lots of good feedback and comments today. Thanks so much, Howard. Hope you have a great day.
Bye, Howard.
All right. So I'll first share this page over here. So this is the impact garden, or the blog post for the impact garden. The goal is to enhance data-driven impact evaluation. And Launamu is a badge holder and a council member in the grants council, I believe in the metrics and the evaluation, metrics and milestones evaluation. And she's been doing all sorts of cool work. Also hosted the Green Pill podcast recently. But yeah, she's been doing all kinds of interesting work to generate repeatable, standardized on-chain data on the impact of contributions to collective. So they have a directory with all the projects eligible in the past couple of rounds, and they're using EAS, the Ethereum Attestation Service, to help make a more composable data standard for sharing contributions and helping badge holders understand the contributions in the collective and the impact in the collective specifically, because the impact is what is being evaluated in the retrofunding process as it currently stands. Impact equals profit, as the ethos says. So yeah, you can see here, I won't go through the whole thing right now, but you can see this on gov.optimism.io, and you could search for Launamu. It's like she posted this, there's an update 6 hours ago, so it's pretty close to the top of the page. And then I can maybe pull up the window, but yeah, I'm just kind of scrolling through to give you a high level overview. They also have a roadmap and things coming up for sustainability. This was approved with a grant with the missions and so forth. So encourage people to check it out and learn more. It's great to see all the kind of open source development going on and thinking going on in the collective. This is one of many examples of people who are doing pioneering work to improve evaluation and measurement of contributions in a decentralized ecosystem. And this is the section where you can see, like, this is the actual website, metricsgarden.xyz, where you can see different projects that have been submitted so far. So there's not that many in terms of governance, infra, and tooling. I saw earlier today too, there's another website, I believe it's Retro PGF Hub, that you can see projects that have applied, hub.com. I think that's it. Yeah, so you can see projects that have applied already, explore funded projects, submit your project idea. So I don't know what to make of the most of these sites. Like, I don't know how much metrics garden will be used and adopted compared to, say, this, or what exactly the different benefits are between them. But you can see this site also has a bunch of projects that have applied under retrofunding too. So you can see these are ones that have currently applied. So you can see all these different ones here, and then you can go and do reviews too on the metrics garden. So you can review it like this and so forth. So interesting ideas, and we'd have to figure out what to put up here, because it's like, I don't think Optimism Fractal is really a project. I mean, it kind of is, but it's also, many people have projects contributing to Optimism Fractal. So that's those are things to consider, but wanted to share it. I see Will say GG team. See you all next week. Good game. Sounds good. Thanks, Will. Hope you have a great day. And then while I'm sharing my screen, I also wanted to share maybe a couple other quick things. So one, I did mention that I tried doing a test on Snapshot, and I realized that Snapshot, you could make a whole bunch of things. So I put 36 results, for example, and I did a weighted voting poll. So I was trying to see if this idea of respect trees was possible. At least some of the idea, because Tadas had different ideas. There's an original article that I didn't pull up before, but if you look at the original idea, he has it organized in this kind of like graph-based hierarchical form where you could, for example, vote with respect. I'm trying to scroll up, but I can't go to the top. But like, there's a top one. It's kind of almost like a hat tree almost. But you can see like the fractal has a total amount of respect, and then it can devote some of that respect to what the mission is, what are the top values, and then from there it can stem to like, what's the current priority? Is it to improve agendas? Is it to improve the snapshot process? Is it to to improve Fractogram, to improve the videos, to improve the promotions, and whatever it may be. So he had this idea here, which was very interesting. He has an article from last year about this, just about a year ago, actually. And then we discussed this in a lot more detail in Eden Fractal video. That was the 60th Eden Fractal video called Natural Coordination, where we went into much more detail about it. And then we discussed kind of the new idea that he had in the 16th episode of Optimism Fractal called OPF trees, which kind of a simplified version. And he shared this idea of, he has it here if you go to optimistic.io/respect trees, where you can see, like, I think it's also a bit convoluted too. We want to change it up a bit, but I think there's a core of a really good idea here to use respect weighted polling to be able to evaluate teams both contributing to Optimism Fractal and Optimism. He also had the idea of determining priorities and projects with this too, but maybe that can save for next season. And maybe in the next couple of weeks, we just focus on contributions. And then one thing that I see that, like, Impact Garden is really seems to be lacking, I think, and it seems like most of the collective is probably lacking, is, from what I can tell, it seems like it's basically one person, one vote. And it's like, like somebody like Abraham, he's a delegate, he's building on optimism, he's very committed to optimism in many ways, and he's very knowledgeable. And I could say the same thing about all the people who join this call to varying degrees, versus like some random person who nobody knows just goes on there and just says that. Like, how do you weigh the value of those different votes? And that's one thing that Respect can do really well. And then plus two, how do you form consensus about it too? So we have consensus processes like the ORDAO and OREC. So say if Patric says this and Abraham says this and Rosmari says this, then, like, how do you decide what, like which one to go with, or how do you evaluate those? And I guess I can provide more specific examples, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you understand what I mean. So it's like Respect and our on-chain governance protocols can really help with evaluating these kinds of things and doing it in a more like quantifiable way, and a more like a decentralized and fair and transparent consensus process. And then it can potentially, like, compose with these tools so that when people vote, they can use all these great tools like Metrics Garden that have been built, but empower that with Respect, and empower that with, like, the civil protection from the Respect game, and empower that with the on-chain governance protocols. And so that was an idea that I had about how we could potentially use Snapshot. I tried making like 36 different things and then voted with like a little bit of well, this was in a test thing, so I used ETH. I had like a little bit of ETH account, but you could do it with OPF. So you could say, for example, if we invited 30 people to join or something like that, or 10 or 5 or however many, then we could potentially allocate Respect with that. And then maybe we can give it to the badge holders. And then maybe in future rounds, we can also integrate that with systems like Impact Garden. So when people vote, they can vote with their Respect or something like that. I don't know, just throwing out some ideas. But I wanted to show Impact Garden because Abraham brought it up and it's an interesting tool. And then wanted to kind of just brainstorm ideas about how what we're building can potentially compose with these things. And the fact that we're hosting the events too, and we have videos and people can come and join and share their work. Because a lot of times you might go on Impact Garden, but if you see like this little 2-sentence or 2-paragraph section that says what they did over the past year, you might not get such a good idea. But if people can come on the events like they did for retro pitches or like we do in the Respect game, they might get a better understanding of what each person's building if they could share their screen and stuff like that. I see Rosmari has her hand up, so I'll pass it over to Rosmari.
Yes, I agree. And having a weight or seeing a weight behind someone's vote, that is really a game changer. And the weight is, for example, in our case, is the Respect that we reach consensus on for each level of the Respect game for each week based on our contributions. So that is, I think, a much better of a evaluation of other people's contributions, because we have been doing this for weeks, for a year now. We've been evaluating contributions and ranking against each other. We also have this experience as a group too. So in a way, we are like very trained on evaluating impact, especially for governance, because we are pretty much focused on governance here, like the processes we follow.
Yeah, I agree with that. And to second or to complete, we need I just want to show, maybe, Dan, you want to click the link of David Erschliman, the co-founder of the ads protocol, a Medium article that I have put into the chat. You are unmuted.
You want me to bring
unmuted,
up on the screen, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Sure.
It's an article of 1 page, very well made. You have not to read 10 page, just 1 page, 1 pager. He explained how to collect meaningful data about your network. And here is a tool, Kumu, that is underlined here. It's like a mind map, indeed. And he shows on this article, if you scroll down a bit, different KPIs, metrics that you have to gather. So active collaboration, past collaboration, then you go to the next graph. Identifying the hubs connecting department, if we are in connection with other things, then other graphics, next. Identifying weaving opportunity to bridge silos organization. That's converge.net, and he is part of Converge, David Erschliman, with another other guys. So if you go on the bottom still, there are other graphs, scoring things, yeah. Here, before, after, evaluating the network connectivity before and after to see what is the improvement, and then go bottom, and that's it. That's all. And that's an article of, what's the date? That was
2018.
Yeah, already.
Yeah.
So experience converge.net. So there are some established studies how to collect meaningful data about your network. And we are a network. Optimism Fractal is a network. Every fractal is a network. So we have to collect those data. You have made the tools. You have shown before that you have into Notion some tools. Abraham has also suggested some tools. Now there is the mind mapping also that is collecting the data. If we can collect all those data meaningfully and smart, then it's easy for someone totally new that has never participated or that on another organization to understand better what we are doing without that we have to show them all the details because they have no time to grasp all the detail. It's not an insult. It's just to say a new organization has no time to watch the videos, has no time. Also, if it is well time-stamped, shout out for that. If it is more than 25 minutes, 30 minutes, they don't even see anything. That's like this. The human has a time limited, and we have to increase the scarcity is the time. So the people don't watch too much things. So if it is into a nice visuals and a nice KPIs, Optimism Fractal is this. We do this, and fantastic contributor in it. No doubt. It's good contribution in it. And our software are that. That's help governance, that helps to better organize communities and active members, incentivizing active member into the organization. That's impactful. And I think that Optimism Collective will see that more understandable, maybe also, and maybe they will give better feedback because one of the things that I heard, it's about sometimes the feedback is very, very poor. It's maybe sometimes just 2 lines. Maybe they have not also the time to go in all the details. So I think we could do a fantastic job here. We all agree on that. So we have the keys to improve. That's already the 40. What is this episode now? The number 40.
45.
45.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think I have not joined every Optimism Fractal, but I was very busy. But I am okay to join many. But at the stage that you are now, we could as a group better leverage the things. that just need some reflex, some collaboration culture. I think Abraham, Will, Jacob, Vlad, you, Rosmari, all, we are very collaborative. We want just to do the best collaboration together and not co-petition or competition. I think it's not we are in 2024, soon 2025. It's collaboration time. So, sorry, don't take wrong my words. Just want to tell you I love what we do here. So, and I want to see the things well cohesive, and we have the tools. If we use the technology for that, that's great, to the service of the collaboration. Yeah. That's all.
I think you make a valid point there, Patrick. Sometimes it is hard for people to take the time to read through stuff, and there are different, obviously there are different kinds of people. Some people will spend the time and care and try and really get it, and other people just want to get through it quick and get what they need. And so we probably have to address both of those parties as we're learning how to grow the community.
I agree with you also. Yeah. Me, I will read all, but not everyone will read all. You cannot know what is the reaction of someone else from the external point of view. We are so in it that we are convinced that all is good. If you see with an eye stepping back 3 days, you don't join these meetings during 2 weeks, for example. You take some stepping back and you try to have a reflection on what we are doing here. You will see, okay, that maybe we could do shorter, or we don't need to show all the detail in one time. We just need to cover the most abstract level. And then if the people want to read, they will read. No doubt with that. So I try to also approach other organizations on my side, some business also that could be interested with what we do, the Web2. And they say, you have great tools, no doubt, but try to extract the juice of what you are doing, to explain, pitching that in normal words, not use always the word fractal, or sometimes the word that maybe others doesn't understand exactly what does it mean. Try to abstract a bit. For example, respect game. That's beautiful because inside there is the governance. So we are not even to explain that. So great.
Well said. Well, thanks, Patrick and Abraham, for all the thoughts. And yeah, that's like our challenge basically, to both be able to convey all the things that we're doing here with Optimism Fractal and all of the great work of the community members, and also to be able to help the collective scale up decision making too in an effective manner, because things like quantifiable respect can help people who don't have a time. Just nobody has time to look at 100 applications or 1,000 applications, or to some extent people have more time or less time, but at some point it becomes unscalable. And so when you have ways to measure success, and like we do, like Rosmari mentioned, by evaluating your contributions in little bits each week, 4 minutes at a time, people share, and then randomized groups evaluate their contributions in their spec game. That can greatly help. And so now it's up to us to figure out how to best communicate that to the collective, to help improve the process going forward. And also figure out what to do in this round. And another thing to keep in mind too is that retrofunding, it's like very core to the to optimism too. So I believe 20% of the total supply of OP has been dedicated to retrofunding. That's 850 million OP, and approximately 50 million of the OP, maybe 60 million of the OP has been allocated so far. So there's still about almost 800 million OP that's allocated specifically for retrofunding from the original token distribution. And then as more community organizations join the Superchain, also they're using their revenue to help fund public goods on Optimism. So new Superchain leaders like the Unichain from Uniswap and Sony from Sony and Base and so forth are all helping to fund those public goods too. So I think that it'll be like a very sustainable system going forward, and we're in a great place to help improve it. So we'll do our best in this round to do whatever we can. The application's in a few days, so I don't know exactly what the plan will be exactly yet for this round, and then the 1 year anniversary, we could figure it out. I'll think about it a lot, figuring out the best thing to do with like maybe that retro pitches idea, the respect tree, or something like that. If anybody has any ideas throughout the week about best ways to do it for both 1 year anniversary or retro pitches, then feel free to share, reach out on Discord or wherever you think is best. And then yeah, also going forward, we'll have a lot of time to consider how we can help in future rounds too, and help the collective going long term. So yeah, really appreciate the thoughts that were shared here. We are 10 minutes away from the top of the hour, and so we should probably start wrapping up soon. I have a couple slides I can pull up in conclusion. Does anybody else want to share any concluding thoughts before we wrap it up?
No, not too much. Just to say, it's not just about Retro PGF. It's about to continue to do what we are doing, believing in what we are doing, and sharing at the best of our ability and respect the time. And like this, we can join any organization that will be interested to better organize their community. And so what we are doing here is not just for Retro PGF. It's otherwise we will never do a 40 episode. I just want to tell thank you very much, Dan, for all what you are doing, and also all the builders here like Abraham, Rosmari, many builders. I am just joining recently, and I just hope to increase the visibility. That's my personal goal. So thank you for all. Let's go ahead with the conclusion.
Right on. Thank you, Patrick. And well said to put into perspective, too. I agree. The Superchain, the collective, and Retro PGF, it's a wonderful place to be here, and we can help greatly. And I believe it's going to go do amazing things. But then also what we're doing, I believe it can help and will help all communities and organizations around the world, too. So thank you for putting that in perspective. I see Rosmari said she's going to go now. Have a good rest of your day and night. And thanks all for joining. Abraham, if there's any last thoughts you want to share before I give this presentation, or Eric, hopefully you've enjoyed the town hall. And if you want to share anything else before we wrap it up, then feel free. Otherwise, I can get into the presentation, and then we can wrap it up in a couple minutes, and we can say go Optimism or go Optimism Fractal or something like that at the end.
I say go for it, Dan. Roll those beautiful slides.
All right, there you go.
At 50 500 milliseconds.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. I'm going to roll it and try to roll it at a speed that people can understand. Because as Patrick is saying, sometimes you got to pick the right things to say and not say too much at once. You got to, share the information in the right amount. So, and also just on the note too, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I did. I think I mentioned it, but I spoke on the Token House call and I gave kind of an overview of various things that Optimism Fractal has been doing over the past year. So I'm trying to break it down to show all the things, like, for example, like the technical development that could be used for retrofunding, talking about like OREC and ORDAO at Tadas building, which will enable fractal communities to have a decentralized MSIG in a really fascinating way, which is basically ready now, or in testing. The new Fractogram app that Abraham has built that we tested last week, that Howard's been helping integrate with the smart contracts now in Hats and stuff like that. Respect Games app that Vlad built, Hats Tree and all these things. So I've been trying to like summarize these in kind of like digestible pieces. So well, thanks everybody for the great work so far, and looking forward to further being able to refine this to communicate the benefits of what people are doing at Optimism Fractal and what Optimism Fractal can provide. And just want to once again encourage people, app.optimism.io. You can learn about Optimism, retrofunding in general. The applications will close for this round on October 14th, which is in a few days on Monday. So encourage people to check out this link and think about if they want to participate or how to best do it and so forth, feel free to share your thoughts in the Discord going forward. Retrofunding.optimism.io is where you can actually apply. You can apply and sign in with a farcaster sign in. Optimism is thinking a lot about identity, and farcaster plays a big role in that. So, and then from there you can view the application too, and there's a timeline, and then there's 3 different categories here. So governance, infrastructure, and tooling, governance analytics, and governance leadership. So just provide some overview of the application for anyone who's interested in applying. And then, Optimism Fractal, our 1-year anniversary is coming up in 10 days, but I think we'll celebrate it over the course of the next few weeks to some extent. So if anybody has any ideas about the best ways to celebrate Optimism Fractal, and perhaps we can also raise awareness for the things we're doing and help out the collective more, make the most of the opportunity, then we'd be curious to hear people's thoughts in the Discord going forward. Everybody can register for the upcoming events. It's also going to be Eden Fractal seasonal end pretty soon. Luda, Masha, Optimistics, and thank you everybody for joining so much. Looking forward to seeing you next week on Thursday at 17 UTC. Thanks for the great town hall and the great respect game.
Thank you, Dan, for all. I see Samuel very happy, I think, and you want to know more. I see in your eyes that you want to know more, and that will come from top to the down or bottom up. Yes. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, Abraham is on the phone, and we just finished the call. I just want to say we love you, Dan. So we are with you. You are behind all that. I remember when I was joining at the really beginning on Eden Fractal, and I was on every episode, always. Then the road has just, let's say, something was happening, and I was going into other tasks, and now I am back. When we love what we do, we know what we do, and we know why we do, I think that's the 3 questions to ask ourselves to do something. So we are here to deliver, and just some little things to improve. But those little things, when it is summed up, that's make some good things to do. So, and I will always say what I mean, for sure. We are not a yes man group. We are not sheeps. We are lions, because the sheep never lead, lions never follow. So we are here to say the things, but good things, heart, soul, and mind. I try to say the things the better that I can without to be impolite. I have to make me violence to become a better version. I think we are all here to improve, so that's one thing sure. So we can wrapping up, or
yeah. Well, I'm ready to wrap it up. First, I'll just say thank you for the kind words, Patrick. I've greatly appreciated time we spent collaborating together, and I agree we're improving, and we're all improving together here. So looking forward to improving our next week's event, and also going forward in our second year coming up soon. I'm sure we'll do really great things together. So really excited about it. If Abraham or Eric, you wanted to share any last quick thoughts, we can, but otherwise I'd say we can wrap it up with 3, 2, 1, go Optimism, if everybody's up for it. What do you say? Sound good? Okay. I think we're ready. Sound good, Eric? Okay.
3,
3, 2,
a moment.
Okay.
We say at 0, we say go Optimism Fractal.
Okay, sure. We can say go Optimism Fractal.
Okay.
That works. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, let's go. Let's
Ready?
go. Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, 0.
Go Optimism Fractal.
Fractal. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby. And go Optimism. Thanks, everybody, so much for the great events today, and hope to see you next week. See y'all.
Yeah, so thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Samuel. See you soon. Perfect.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.